Yeah, everybody, we are live back again for News AM. Yes.
Hail Klarna.
Hail Klarna.
Hail
That's
Klarna.
right. We're back again to talk about everything here today. Should we just jump right in?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I know everybody's been waiting in the chat. People thought that they got April fooled because we said 11:05. But look, this is like our pre-production meeting.
It was our pre-production meeting. I had to work out for season 50, and there's a lot going on.
Okay. All right. So let me
did people hear that part or no?
I think they got it. Yeah.
In the regular
All right, we'll cut it out of the podcast. Okay. All right. Here we go. All right. And hey, everybody, what's going on? Rob Cesternino back again to talk with you about the week's most interesting news stories for the week of April 1st, 2025, here on News AF.
If the story is buzzing like it's on crystal meth, it's about to be News AF. If the same old news makes you bored to death, it's time for some News AF. Actual, factual news.
Yeah, that's right. News AF is back here today, kicking off a brand new month with all of the most important news in the world here with pickleball's top influencer. It's Tyson Apostol. Tyson, how are you?
Pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm pretty good. I'm very tired. I didn't sleep because I played pickleball last night, and that happens. I played too late. You know, like when you get older and you work out, everything was too hot, dude. And I was just like thinking of all the sick fucking shots I had playing pickleball, dude. You know, just like cross court,
kitchen plops,
dinks. You call them kitchen plops? They're dinks.
I don't know. I've only played pickleball once.
Yeah, you can call them kitchen plops. I think that is actually
we get it. Yeah.
And and that's it. And this week though, I'm going. Ethan, our friend Ethan Zahn, got me tickets. Him and I, through a friend, going to the Final Four games and the championship game. And I'm very excited going to San Antonio with Ethan. I think it's a bucket list sporting event, the NCAA Final Four and championship game, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I tried to get a
guys trip with Ethan's on.
Yeah. I tried to get like a bucket list sporting event list going on Twitter, and I think I did pretty good.
Yeah.
So
what is it? Final Four, Super Bowl, what World Series?
Yeah, let me
NBA
get on
Final,
World Cup.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. We go in international, and there's a few that here we go. You ready for it? I have listed at number 1. I have the Super Bowl, number 1.
Okay.
Number 2, Tour de France.
Oh, yeah.
Number 3,
now, is this your personal list?
Yeah, but I also think in terms of importance and general of universally celebrated. Number 3, Soccer World Cup. Number 4, Wimbledon. Number 5, the Masters, PGA Masters. Number 6, the World Series. Number 7, Stanley Cup.
Oh, yeah.
Number 8, NBA Finals.
Okay.
Number 9, NCAA Basketball Championships, Final Four Championships. And then we have an F1 in there somewhere.
Yeah.
We have the Indy 500 that people have suggested. We have the Olympics that people have suggested. The Olympics is just too hard. Like, it's like the Olympics. I've been to the Olympics and it wasn't that cool, but like you never know what event you're going to get to. And I think there's probably some iconic Olympic events, but just the Olympics in general doesn't count. So, and then some horse racing, the Kentucky Derby.
Oh, yeah.
I think
Triple Crown.
The Triple Crown. So
that's a lot.
Yeah. So there's about 15, I would say, bucket list sporting events a person should attend.
And you've been to how many?
I've been to a World Series.
Okay.
And I've been to a Tour de France.
Bing.
I've been to that's it.
Yeah, Klarna be blessed.
Klarna be blessed. Klarna be blessed.
To all of those.
So I've been to 2, and I'll have checked another one off this list here.
So lucky.
and then we're just going to keep going because I didn't care about sports. I mean, I enjoy them more now than I used to as far as watching.
Yeah. Why? Is it because you bet on them?
Yeah, it's because I bet on them,
Yeah.
and then it's two things. It's because I bet on them, and it's because I did go to a World Series last year, and it was very, very exciting.
Stoke the fire.
It was exciting. Like with that, well, I went to a playoff game before the league championships, and it was the best baseball game I'd ever been to. Like the lead changed like 3 or 4 times. People were screaming. The Phillies fans were going berserko. We ended up winning in Arizona, and it was amazing. So,
Right.
yeah. So that was it.
Okay. All right. Well, let's see what this guy has on his bucket list. It's Danny Bryson.
Spring break.
Yeah.
Oh, is that where you're at right now?
You're in
Yeah,
the compound?
Dude, I'm spring breaking.
Yeah.
in
I noticed you're
California.
not in the closet.
No, this is a much more spacious room.
Who's all in the is it just you out there? Your family?
Right now, it's just my family, and then my sister and her family are coming out here.
Okay.
But yeah, we're in California. Did
Cool.
the drive. We were considering going to Knott's Berry Farm today.
Ooh, but that's far from you, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, the problem is the beach isn't.
Wait, you're in Malibu.
Yeah,
Oh,
which
okay.
is still far. It's still like an hour and like
Yeah.
20
What do you do
minutes.
at Knott's Berry Farm? I remember they used to call it like at Halloween, they call it Not Scary Farm.
Yeah, so
And it's I never knew, was it supposed to is it
just
they
rides and
saying
stuff.
scary, or are they saying that it's not scary?
it's not very scary.
Not
My
very
kids,
scary.
we tried to get them to go to Six Flags. That was too scary. And then we didn't want to go to Universal Studios or Disneyland again. So Knott's Berry Farm seemed to be in the middle between those two, like Six Flags and
Yeah.
Universal. You can eat pie. I saw lots of pie in the reviews.
Yeah.
So if you're big into pie, I guess that's something. You can also buy this thing called a day food pass, where you basically every like 90 minutes get to shovel food into your mouth.
Wow.
Yep. So that's what we're considering doing. The problem is Liz is way too democratic when it comes to deciding what to do.
You can't. You just do it.
Gotta do it.
So it's like she's like, "What does everybody want to do today?" And of course, being kids and adults, nobody wants to do the same thing.
Yeah.
So our plan before I started podcasting was to go there, but I'm sure by the time I reemerge, the plan will have changed 5 times.
Do your kids like roller coasters and stuff?
One does. That's the problem, and the other
Oh.
2 are lukewarm. I don't really care for them, but I would go. And
Team
my
player.
wife, my wife likes them.
Well, how far is Neptune's kingdom? Does Neptune's kingdom still exist?
The sea is right here.
Yeah.
The ocean is right here, and I'm assuming that you're talking about his kingdom in the sea. Or
No, there was an amusement park on like the ocean side
in the
somewhere-
80s.
somewhere in the Bay Area.
You mean San Francisco, or what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Neptune's. I'm in Malibu.
You're in Malibu. Sorry about that. I keep thinking too.
Yeah.
No,
Sorry.
you're
Why? What are you
you're
talking
fine.
about, Tyson? It's like an amusement park?
I think there was. I was a child. I was like,
Yeah, it sounds like an
12.
old one.
and I went and rode on some roller coasters, and I believe it was called something like that.
No,
but
no kingdom here. Just
okay. I haven't been to Knott's Berry Farm since I was like 15.
I've never
Yeah.
been, so I have no idea. I have to go off of the
I never
internet
went.
and
My
looking at
parents-
reviews.
My parents tried to pass it off as Disneyland.
Yeah.
That it is not,
Mhm.
but it does have. It is themed, and I've noticed that
Yeah.
all the people leaving reviews are season pass holders. So I feel like the reviews are very skewed.
Well,
Yeah.
if anyone is motivated enough to even buy a season pass,
Mhm.
then
That's
it's gotta
saying
be
something.
it's saying something,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. It's the Boysenberry Festival is going on currently at
Oh,
Knott's Berry
hells
Farm,
yeah.
Danny.
Favorite festival: boysenberry,
Yes.
boysenberry pie, boysenberry sandwiches, boysenberry face masks. I'm sure there's all sorts of uses. for
Yeah.
boysenberry.
Unlimited visits with a 2025 season pass.
Look at how happy
Hail
those
Klarna.
people are.
Hell,
Hail Klarna.
Klarna be blessed. Yes.
Our dabbing is the salute to Hell Klarna. Yeah.
So
Hell
I don't know what
Klarna.
we'll do. We'll probably just argue with each other most of the day. and
Yes.
then,
You'd see all the Peanuts
okay.
characters.
Yeah, that's the thing is I'm not a huge Snoopy fan.
Nobody
So
is.
Nobody is.
I mean, those people have died off or are.
Charles Schultz was a genius. You're like, what are you talking about? I've
you
seen
know?
the cartoons. They're not that great.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Our generation's Peanuts, what I felt like was Calvin and Hobbes, right? But it was a step up. I just don't
Mhm.
understand Charlie Brown.
Kathy. I always celebrated Kathy.
It was like this child
Yes,
is
what was it about
premature.
Kathy?
I don't. Well, I forget her one saying. What arg?
Yeah,
Oh, she the freckled one.
she was going through it. Yeah.
Yeah. She was going
And then
through it.
I've never understood why he was balding. He had like male pattern baldness.
Charlie Brown?
Yeah.
Yeah, at a young age too. It was
Very
kinda
young.
sad.
It's kind of
Yeah.
sad. He probably had alopecia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like the dumbest cartoon that people seem to be obsessed over.
You were a Marmaduke fan, I think. Right? Right?
Maybe like in my soul, I'm a Marmaduke fan. But I grew up reading what was it called?
The Far
Far
Side.
Side.
The Far Side and Calvin
Yeah.
and Hobbes.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah.
The more subversive funnies.
Oh yes, thank you. Yes, more
Yeah, not a lot of people pick up the paper and look for the funny pages, the
Funnies.
comics. Now that was that basically like TikTok for people like in
Yes.
the like 50s and 60s. It's like
No, even-
two more. I don't want to
That's all you
swipe. Let me
had.
just go to like the funny pages.
Yep.
As a child, I even remember I was like, my grandparents would set the funny pages aside. So when I visited, I
Right.
could read them. And I
That's-
was like 8,
yeah.
9, 10 years old. I remember like loving it.
Such a good point, Tyson. Because I feel like that, my kids, they're on spring break. I think they've broken every record known to man for screen time. I would go to my grandparents' house and it was like, do you have any toys? Like, no, but here's the newspaper.
Yeah.
Yeah. The
We
great
saved the
rekindling.
funnies. We saved the funny paper for the last 2 weeks. So you've got 14 new
Yeah. It's like, here, here's
Marmadukes.
and just go through every single page of the newspaper. Is there
Yeah.
anything
Dilbert.
here?
Dilbert. I forgot Dilbert.
They're so bad.
They're all so
Oh.
bad. It's like watching Friends without the laugh track behind it. That's how
Now
comics
humor's
are.
been injected with steroids. You see so many fail videos, and all of a sudden Marmaduke doesn't hit the same.
Yeah, it really doesn't. Even like
You had to be there.
just TikTok geniuses who you're like, how are people this funny? I thought I
Yeah.
was funny, but
Until you
I-
got exposed to other people, and you
yes,
realize,
that I'm not
that's too
even
bad.
I'm not even top 30%.
And then AI will step in and just embarrass us all.
Well, I think I'm still funnier as
AI.
far as,
currently,
as far as like talking to people in that scenario. That's my strength. Is riffing with people. So I think these creatives on TikTok who are making hilarious videos, they couldn't riff like I can riff. Fuck them.
challenge, throwing down the gauntlet.
Challenge accepted.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's talk about what's going on. And let me start off. It's April Fool's Day here today.
Yeah.
And so I haven't gotten burned by too many April Fool's jokes and pranks
That you know
yet.
of. That
Yeah.
you know of. Till your hair falls
Yeah.
out later today.
Yeah, like Charlie Brown. Is that what happened to him?
Yes.
The kids got him with a good one.
Yep.
All right. Well, for April Fools, it's like a lot of like brands are just doing things. And it's like,
Yeah.
if you listen to this podcast, like every single day is April Fool's Day. It's always like, okay, is this even real? Is this brand coming out with this? So let's do a little quick roundup of stupid April Fools. Subway has announced that they are launching a new line of protein shakes called Subway, SUBWHEY.
That's believable.
Only if it came in a foot long cup thing.
All
It
it
kind
is-
of does.
Yeah, you go to the Subway store and they just grind up some deli meat in a blender and pour
Yeah.
in some milk, and then you just drink it.
They've got the meatball marinara,
Oh, the flavor is
big
where
breakfast
the-
protein shake, and the
Yeah.
classic BMT protein shake.
Yeah, the flavor is where they're
The meatball marinara, if they serve that warm, could be a good drink.
Just like tomato soup with meat.
I'm just saying, it's possible that a meat and like pasta flavored drink could be good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's not knock that down. I mean, let's try that before we make fun of it.
Okay, Reese's announced a new line of chocolate bread to go with its peanut butter and jelly.
And they
That's
could
also-
put that on Subway sandwiches.
That would be
No,
delicious.
That's new. But too bad it doesn't exist. It's not real. April Fools.
That is
Got
too
you.
bad.
Like that's even the worst feeling where it's like somebody has like a
You get
good
it?
idea and it's like, oh yeah, that's great. Like, oh, sorry, gotcha. It's not
Yeah.
even not real. Like, oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I
You
love
make
that.
it real. You make it real.
Yeah.
Chocolate
There's so
bread.
many of them where you're like, wow, they broke their mold. They're going to double their revenue
Yeah.
in just this year alone. And then it's psych, everybody. We just a joke. That good idea, never going to happen.
Yep. Okay. How about this? Yahoo has announced a new agricultural interface that allows you with a grass-covered keyboard to touch grass.
I do like that, but the biggest joke is that Yahoo
Yahoo,
still
yeah, it's still
exists.
relevant.
Still in business.
Whenever
How?
Still spending money.
Whenever I give people my Yahoo email, which I get
Yeah.
as a junk email, I am also embarrassed. I have a Hotmail email that I don't even know how to access, but that's like even lower down the ladder in terms of like, it's just so embarrassing. Hard to believe it still exists.
I think that there's some nerd somewhere who just bought the Yahoo URL for like $30 and he's keeping it going hilariously. And he makes like $60 a month off of it from advertising. So yeah, I will also mock someone for their email, Danny. If you were like, my email's a Yahoo, I'd be like, okay, did you get the disc? Did you get the new disc ROMs this month?
The thing is, I should update my junk email to something ridiculous at Gmail, but it's just nice.
69boy.com.
Gmail's been around for like 20 years. Is there anything that's come since Gmail?
They've tried.
Done
They've tried
making
to
new
revolutionize
emails?
it.
Yeah.
There was, I think there was a couple email brands maybe 5, 6, 10 years ago that were really trying to be like, Gmail is antiquated. Here's the new thing. And nobody.
Email's so stupid. It's like the Charlie Brown of like internet communication. It's so dumb.
In what way?
List the
It
hierarchy.
has no hair?
First of all, at least 90% of my emails are junk emails, right? Just
Sure.
like endless spam.
Yes.
Then when you write an email, you basically just want to write someone a text message. But I still have to write like, hey, so-and-so. Then the body of the email, and then thanks, Danny. I don't want to do that.
Okay.
I just want to write the message.
Why
and
don't you
send
just
it to them
text
like
them?
a text? Because I
You
don't
always
have their
phone
text number.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why don't you just email them
If
like
it's
a
a
text
business.
then, if you want to? So
Oh,
bad.
that's what I'm slowly moving towards doing.
I
I'm
like
not a
it.
professional on any level. And like after I write that first formal email, from then on, I slowly just start sending texts that are emails.
It's informal, and all the business guys are so offended by your email.
Or they're like, this guy's edgy. We should hire him."
revolutionary.
Revolutionary. Get this man a job.
I'm going to make it a point, Danny, to now email people like text messages from here on out.
Thank you. And then hopefully email will just turn into text messaging.
Well, with email, there's an extra layer of I might check it now, I might not.
That's how I treat my text messages. I don't check them for long periods of time.
That's the only difference between Gmail and text message, and you are disrespecting the hierarchy of.
I owe you nothing if you text me. Like this is not.
If
like,
I have your phone number and we are considered friends, Danny does respond to my texts, but I would expect that you would text me. I get it if you're traveling and you're gone for 2 days or you're off the grid or whatever. That's not a problem. But if you're just looking at my text and totally ignoring it completely, then we maybe shouldn't have each other's numbers.
Yeah. And all I'm going to say, Danny, is you better be glad you're not text friends with Steven Fishback. He would not tolerate an immediate response.
Yeah, I get
you
that
would get
too.
a double
Maybe
text.
The other problem with emails is like, let's say Tyson emails me. Well, the problem is I've been sent, especially on my Yahoo account, over 80 emails in the last 3 hours or so.
Yeah.
And it just gets hidden in like the garbage.
Emailing is the way that you don't care. It's like, I have to say something to Danny, but I don't care if he sees it or not. So you email it and then you're like, why didn't you tell me that happened. I was like, I emailed you 6 months ago.
Oh, it's a good way to deliver bad news.
Yeah.
Right. The hopes that it won't be discovered.
Yeah.
Yeah. You have a lot to say. Okay.
Gmail will now also ask you at the top if you'd like to unsubscribe from all the emails you don't read.
Yes, but it doesn't work.
It doesn't work. I've gone through that for hours.
Oh, I haven't tried that.
Oh, yeah. It's a
So
lie.
please, yes, thank you. It's like
Yeah.
nothing
Renewal-
changes.
Nothing stops renewal by Anderson.
But
Nothing
I
stops-
have
I don't know what AI god they are using to send out emails, but he circumvents every single.
but my
single attempt to
Gmail,
stop
my
it.
primary Gmail is generally all the stuff I want to see. And then my social, I have the social and I have the updates. And then there's like 3 different folders. And my primary Gmail, I would say, is 90% clean.
Yeah, because you don't use it to sign up for all the junk that you have to sign up throughout your day or year.
I don't sign
Right?
up for anything anymore.
It's just like some things require it, like just getting your kids, like signing up for their stuff. It's just so many times.
Yeah,
you
all that
hand out
stuff goes to
emails.
updates. And then they're like, didn't you get the update? I was like, no, it went to my update folder.
Oh, you've actually organized your
I
emails.
didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
they
like-
do it for you.
Yeah, they do it for you.
Oh, your updates. You mean like recently unread?
There's
Is
an
that what you mean?
updated, no, there's an updates folder. There's a promotions folder. There's a social folder.
No, yeah, I don't do any of that.
And my primary folder gets, let's see, here's what I got. My primary folder, I have Rob's email for the link this morning.
Ooh, nice.
I
Yeah.
have an email from my niece. I have an email from CBS for the screeners to watch on Wednesday. I have an
Okay.
email from my nephew. I have an email from American Express, my credit card. I have an email from the
Okay, yeah, I
orchestra
get
teacher
the
at school.
idea. I get the idea. I
And
understand
so
what
those
you're
are all
doing.
emails that I need.
How are we
Yeah.
talking about this? What prompted our talk about email?
You were
Oh,
going on email, and I
No,
think you're-
no. It was new. It was April Fool's
Yahoo.
Day. Oh,
And Yahoo's
Yeah,
Yahoo's
gosh,
grass
the
keyboard,
we have strayed,
which was
from the
so
grass
boring.
keyboard.
Yahoo's
boring as
grass
Yahoo.
keyboard. I mean, Yahoo is a one-man show, so the best they can come up with is a keyboard.
Is it one person that works there?
I think the guy who bought the URL for
Is
30
it Andrew
bucks.
Savage?
Yes.
Yeah. He worked. I don't know if he's still there. He
and
worked there once.
Shireen.
For them. Yeah, they were. I don't think she's still there. I think Andrew Savage was, but I don't know. Yeah, so all the April Fool's jokes are dumb. Duolingo says that they have a 5-year cruise to give you immersive language. It's all brands.
That's brilliant.
Yeah.
If you did
Yeah, I
that,
mean-
you would be fluent.
Big business took over April Fools. It used to
ruined
be our holiday, and now just all the marketers took it over.
Could you, if you were a brand, could you just sell, like, you go in, you know how you go in on Valentine's Day or like weeks before, and it's just like Valentine's garbage everywhere. All the candies are shaped like hearts, all that stuff. So for April Fools, could they market it, commercialize it enough where you'd go in the grocery store like the week before and it's like poop flavored Reese's Pieces.
Yeah.
Oh,
Get your
absolutely.
bananas to get your banana peels.
Yeah, exactly. Like I feel like they could be capitalizing
Yeah.
on it so much more.
Like, what happened to just saran wrap on the toilet? I mean, it was like
I'm glad we're
simple,
not doing that.
straightforward.
yeah,
to be
I'm glad
honest.
we're not
Or,
doing that
or
too.
taping the spray handle at the sink.
or saran wrapping the doorways so they walk into them.
Yeah.
There's lots of stuff you could do, but that's not how companies make money. They would
No,
make
but I'm
money
saying those are the good old days. Those are the days of
Yeah.
Dog
Joy
turd.
buzzers and whoopee cushions.
dog
Yeah.
turd shaped power bars and
Yeah.
all
You
of
are looking for, like, Tyson, you want to set up like a Spirit April Fool's store,
Yes.
like around like right after the Super Bowl. They go up in your neighborhood, Spirit April Fools.
Those
Yes.
are called magic shops.
Like Spencer's Gifts.
Yeah.
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 I want that. I think that is the next step in the evolution of April Fool's Day is commercialize the shit out of it.
Oh,
I
you
like
know
it.
that
could
people
be
in
our
dark
idea.
boardrooms are just like, how can we make more money?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Elf on
Yeah.
the shelf, except for April Fools. What is
Right.
that?
A
Mhm.
demon on the desk.
Yeah.
A desk demon?
Desk demons.
Daryl the desk demon?
Yeah, no, we got it. We nailed it. That took less than 10 seconds. And we've
Yeah.
already come up with $1 billion idea.
Perfect. Yeah.
Speaking of the desk demon, do your kids ever have you check under the bed for monsters?
Never.
Liz had a genius idea that stopped that with our youngest. And what she did, she built these wheeled toy chests that go under the bed. There's no space for demons.
Oh, that's smart.
And our youngest actually had some problem with it. And the minute Liz installed those, she knew, like, if the demon's in her room, it's going to be forced out into the open.
Yeah. It'll be breathing on her.
Yeah.
Is that what you told her? You were like, if there's a demon in here, it's going to be
it's not under your bed
with you in your covers, breathing on you.
I said, what you've done here is you've forced the demon to become more creative. It used to be easy. You just look under the bed. You're like, there he is.
Yeah.
Now you're like, I don't know what he's doing. He could be in the closet.
Why is it a he?
Probably because I'm reading this story.
Yeah. Not a lot of women breaking in and hiding under the bed. If look, listen. Now, that's my wife's fear, that she finds a woman hiding under the bed. It's like that maybe there was a woman here and I was like, oh, quick, hide, get under the
April
bed.
Fools,
Yeah.
April
My
Fools.
wife checks under the bed to make sure there's no women here. But children, they're afraid there's a man under the bed. And here's what happened. They're in Great Bend, Kansas. A child was being watched by their babysitter, said there's a monster under my bed. And the babysitter, good babysitter, says, okay, let me check and make sure. And here is a man, 27-year-old man, hiding under the bed.
I can't even imagine how you would respond to actually seeing someone under the bed.
Do you grab the baby and run? Do you have enough time? Does the man reach? Like, what is?
You play it off like you didn't see anything. Nope, there's no one under your
Nothing
bed.
under the bed. Back out. Call 911. How?
Yeah. Well, there was an altercation, and that they ended up arresting this man.
By the way, you got to pay a babysitter bonus for actually discovering someone under the
and
bed.
for fighting the man.
Yeah.
You know, we have
that bonus? $500.
Oh yeah, I always a babysitter clause that says should you have to fight off an attacker, right? It's got to be at least a couple $100.
Yeah. Wow.
By the way, we have come across stories of people who have had men living in their like attics, hidden spaces. So
that's what happened in the movie Encanto.
Oh, really? I didn't know that. I've never
Probably
saw the
where
movie.
the kid got the idea. Check under the bed.
Brothers hiding in the walls, watching his family live for like 10 years.
Well, we told a story about a woman who had a guy living in her ceiling for years, and then finally she caught him.
Isn't Parasite the movie about that?
Too spooky. I didn't watch it.
I didn't watch it either.
Well, it could be about whatever you want it to be about until you see it, Tyson. So yeah, sure.
It's like winning the lottery. If you buy a ticket, you could be a billionaire until you find out your ticket's worthless.
It's like Schrodinger's movie.
Yep.
You don't know. It's good until you watch it.
Until you open that box.
Dreaming about how good it is.
And that means there's a man under your bed until you check.
Yeah.
That's true.
That's right.
Good
Or
point.
in my wife's case, a woman under the bed.
Yeah.
That's physics. That is physics right there.
Yeah.
So always check. Just to
Always
make sure.
check. Okay. So very good job by the babysitter. This man has been arrested, being held on $500,000 bond.
Is this babysitter now like at a premium? Like
Oh,
Kentucky's number one babysitter,
Probably.
$30 an hour.
There's not a lot of details about the babysitter in the story.
Oh man, they should have dropped her Twitter handle and everything.
Yeah. I don't know if she's like a 16-year-old or like is like
that's
an
probably
adult.
that has to be
Yeah.
what it was. It has to be a minor, or else we would know.
Yeah. Okay.
Hero.
And
nonetheless.
everybody's doing okay. But yeah, very scary. I don't know. Like, was this guy breaking in? Was he like, what was his play?
I don't know.
I don't know. People find intruders like on their couches naked with an empty box of pizza. So it's hard to get into the minds of people who go into other people's spaces.
Yeah. Okay. According to this, the man, this is where the story is a little weird, a little bit of a turn. So the man who was arrested once lived on the property.
Oh.
So was this his childhood home?
Was he drunk?
Was he
Went to the wrong
mixed up?
house?
So he went to the wrong house, something like that. When we moved into our neighborhood, we asked around about crime in the area a little bit just to get a feel of what we weren't really concerned, but we are on the outskirts of everything. And the same story that kept coming up was some crazy lady broke into the wonky looking house and lived there for a week when nobody was there. And it happened like 15 years ago. And that's the only story anybody tells.
My parents, in their old house that they keep around for some reason, they had a squatter move in, and he was putting his own art that he made on the walls. And he like had rearranged the space, and he had fortified a room. And then my wife and kids went there because they used to play tennis up at that house, and they went inside, and the house is completely different, right? Someone's obviously in there. Yeah. And it was just some out of work artist who was turning it into, eventually, I'm assuming, his own commune for other artists. But luckily they caught it early on. He had a sweet samurai sword in his fortified room. So
cool. Yeah. I really need to dig a little deeper into this. Was he crazy? Did the police show up and he was crazy, like wielding his sword and stuff? Or he's like, I'll get out. I'm sorry. I know I was wrong. Like
he claimed it was his house. And then he pointed to his art on the walls and be like, how could this not be my house when my art is on the walls? Like, this is all the evidence you need that this is my house. And look at this.
It's my signature on there.
Yeah. He's like a horror movie. He's like his art in the house. He feels like he's allowed to come in.
Yeah. And then he led them to the room. He's like, look, my stuff's already here. How could this not be my house? And they're like, that is sound logic.
Yeah.
I mean,
sorry, sir.
They arrested him, but then the fear is that they come back because now they know.
And they retaliate somehow.
Yeah. Like, which I think we're about to read about.
Okay.
Yeah.
Looks like Rob's loaded up a good story, possibly about retaliation.
Which one do you want to talk about, Danny?
No, I don't know. That one's pretty good. If that New Jersey police chief.
Okay, that's the one I was going to.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So we got a couple of interesting stories of payback and revenge and some sickos that are out there. Okay. So let's talk about a New Jersey police chief who's been accused of defecating in the office and also spiking the coffee with Viagra.
Party time. Oh, I'd like to point out what news service we're using here.
Yes.
We crapped all over
Yahoo.
Yahoo.com.
Yes.
Yahoo.com is reporting this story. Okay. So this police chief, he's got a lot going on here. Now, the move of spiking the office coffee with Viagra.
Is that a practical joke for like April Fools? Let's see if everybody gets boners on
Maybe
their
he
shift.
went to Spirit April Fools and picked up the Viagra coffee and wanted to test it out. But no, this happened in February.
Wow.
Now,
I mean, it's probably, there is a part of me that's like, okay, Danny and I are going jogging in Norway. If I can spike his Mountain Dew with 15 Viagra's so he can't help but just like be fully torqued the entire adventure, there's something funny about that,
now,
right?
You don't think that might help with the police work, maybe?
No, because
blood flow.
That definitely sounds like a distraction. That sounds like a distraction.
Okay.
Also, I will say I had a friend who was spiked with a Viagra when we were all much younger, and it gave him a blinding migraine. For like 48
all the blood
hours
flow.
Or something.
Yeah. Wow.
He did not have fun. So,
and how did you find out? Did somebody say, "Hey, I slipped him a
Viagra"?
Yeah.
When I asked what's wrong with him, it's like, oh, someone gave him a Viagra as a joke, without him knowing. And he was like, he was like blind in one eye.
I'm so horny and have the worst headache.
I'm like, has it been longer than 4 hours, dude? You need to go to the hospital right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Ouch. By the way, pooping on the desk. That's the other part of this story we haven't talked about.
Well, Well, this guy seems like a real sicko because, so first off, so he put Viagra and Adderall into the cup. Now, again, dude, Adderall may be, that might help with the police work.
He's going to kill people.
What is this for? Like, I don't even get what his motive is.
He also did some other very weird stuff, including jabbing a needle into an officer's penis.
How?
Now, I don't even know how that happened.
What? He's just like, hey, everybody line up your penises.
This guy's like,
one.
Chief, I've had a boner for 4 hours. He's like, show me. He's like, I know how to fix this.
They say that he chased somebody around the office and cornered him before sticking a hypodermic needle through his jeans into the tip of his manhood,
That is
drawing
some good
blood.
Stronger.
That is a good aim. He just hit just the tip, like through the jeans. He knew what it
Dude.
was.
Was
But
the
it's easier to
hypodermic
see,
needle
too.
clean?
Maybe that's why he had to do the Viagra first. Of like, hey, like I got to make sure the target is easier to hit. You know,
swollen.
Pre-Viagra, like who knows? That's like pin the tail on the donkey.
What state is this in? New
New
Jersey?
Jersey.
I'm never going.
He
there.
also
Isn't Tony an officer there?
Yeah, he is. I don't think this was. It doesn't say that he was a famous Survivor player.
Is your jurisdiction?
It's not, maybe he knows maybe what was going on here. He's a jokester too. But
Doc says this guy's a comedic genius.
yeah, all right. He also there were claims that he would shave and put his body hair on people in their food.
This guy's a nuisance.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Then now he's
See,
a dangerous nuisance. Putting pubes on other people's food.
They probably went to like a frat house and they're like, we need a new chief of police right now. Anyone?
No,
one of
from
you.
an 80s frat house.
From an 80s frat house. They take a time machine.
Yeah.
And they're like, which one of you wants to be the new chief of police in 2024 in New Jersey?
Mhm.
And he just has to keep upping it because at first they weren't laughing, they weren't getting in on the jokes,
Yeah.
and so things just escalated.
Maybe he wants to be fired
Yeah,
a
Yeah.
severance.
because then they said that he also then exposed himself, made inappropriate comments, and defecated on the floor and in the garbage can.
This guy's absolutely out of control.
Mhm.
And the thing is, he's got a gun around his waist too. Like how long until he's doing desk pops?
He's the guy who's enforcing the rules. So he pulls you over and he's like, let's see.
You can either let me poke your boner with this hypodermic needle, or you get a ticket.
I wouldn't even know where to begin about how inappropriate you could be when he pulls you over for him to just be like, everything seems to be in order, sir. Carry on. You got shaved body hair all over you with your pants down. With
He hands you the ticket back with it covered in pubes.
He's chasing you with the hypodermic needle. Come here.
I mean, he's probably out on patrol, high on Viagra and Adderall, and drinking tons of coffee.
Yeah, this has to be some sort of prank show where they're like, how terrible of an employee can you be before it's addressed?
Undercover boss.
Undercover boss, the devil's edition.
Yeah. All right. So we'll see if there's any update in that story. And then Tyson, okay, let's go by you and talk about the Phoenix teacher who was arrested after allegedly peeing into a can while at his desk. Now, is this an issue? It was his trash can. He peed in the can at his classroom desk, but some students say they saw.
Yeah, then that's an issue for sure. If it's an emergency, you're by yourself in the. If you're gonna piss your pants, listen, Danny. If you're gonna piss your pants, it's after hours. You're grading papers, and nobody's around. I don't care. If you need to, okay. Danny's saying no. But I'm saying
we live in a civilization. We went over this.
Present.
We live in a civilization, and to let it get to the point where you can't even leave your desk because you have to pee so bad.
Amazon.
It's just bad adulting, right there.
Does he have a note from a doctor?
Amazon drive. Yeah, like
does he have Euromyces Tysis?
Euromyces Tysis.
Yeah, maybe he does, but that doesn't allow him to flop dong in front of his class. You can't get a doctor's note for that.
You should never flop dong in front of class.
So a couple of the children said they did see him doing it.
That's a problem.
Now he claims that he did. Yes, he did pee into the trash can, but he said that he kept himself sufficiently covered.
But why didn't he leave the classroom to go to the bathroom?
Yeah, because he likes. That's part of the thrill. Is doing it in public.
I mean, when you're hopped up on Viagra and Adderall after a bunch of coffee and someone just crapped on your desk and then sprinkled body hair on it, you're going to pee at your desk.
You want people to watch you, whatever it is you're doing.
Yeah.
Yes. Now, he claims, his story is that this is what we had to do in the military. Now, I wonder if that maybe the New Jersey police chief could say, like, hey, in the Army, this is what we had to do. You go, there's no porta potty out in the field. You poop
gotta
in the
go on
garbage
desk.
can.
Yeah.
You poop on the floor if you need to.
Yeah. And then sprinkle it with shaved body hair.
Right.
Not even people in prison have to pee in a bucket. That's like,
Yeah.
so like one, I don't even know what level of society is going into buckets, but that's
like,
pretty
hey,
low.
Tyson and Ethan were in the piss cave.
Not for very long. We figured it out. Not for very long. We pissed in the piss cave, and then
That's what it's
for. Yeah.
Other people from seasons after slept in the piss cave after we filled it up with piss. Yeah. 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 I can't imagine what would force him to just sit there at the desk.
Yeah.
And
what kind of teacher was he? He was a elementary school teacher.
Oh no! Oh, come! I thought maybe junior high, but the elementary school teacher.
Yeah, that's a big no-no.
Yeah,
arrest him for sure. But again,
not from the New Jersey police chief.
If it was after hours, if it was after hours, and everything was closed, and everything was locked up, and he was there after hours grading papers, and there's no restroom. Sure, whatever, but throw the trash can in the dumpster on your way out, and nobody would have ever heard this whole story.
Yeah. Okay.
Danny's still saying no.
I just can't believe that Tyson's like, look, if these are this is an agreeable situation to pee into a can.
Yes.
In the first world. No.
Yes.
Yeah. You know what?
The janitor locked up all the restrooms for the day.
There was no restroom.
Yes. Okay. Finally, you've narrowed it down to a point where I have to agree with you. But if the bathrooms are available, that's where you should go to pee.
Right.
Yeah. And that's always been the case since we've been alive.
Yeah. Okay. Even when you guys used to pee out the window.
The flower boxes.
Yeah, that's true. That was a circumstance where.
But we weren't flopping dong in front of people.
There were no children.
It was late at night. I don't know who saw it, but
I don't either because we were on the second story out of window.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
all right.
Yeah.
Well, today's show has had a theme. Okay, because we have another story about a urine mystery, and this is going on in Oregon. And there's a neighborhood in Portland where a local man discovered his recycling wasn't being collected. He found 6 gallon-sized bottles of urine in his recycling bin, and the recycling people are refusing to take the contents because they don't collect urine.
According to Tyson's rules of public urination, this is an acceptable outcome for urine.
You can't recycle urine yet.
You can't recycle urine. There are some people that say that you recycle urine by drinking it. That's how you recycle urine.
There's only one person I know that says that, and I don't think he's reputable.
You gotta relax, bro. Okay.
So you think like some homeless wanderer pissed in bottles and threw them in?
Unclear.
You just dump the recycling bin into your garbage can, and then the garbage can.
Homeless wanderer, Tyson? Yes. Like some Wall Street high shot has never peed into a container.
So
come on, it could
the
be a
recycling people. They say that if the gallons of urine was in the garbage can, they would take it, but it's not recycling.
See, that's what I'm saying. Just throw all that stuff in the garbage can and get it out of there. Who? Yeah.
Who did it? We don't know.
Yeah, I think somebody had them and tossed them in there for some reason. But that's weird.
The man who was being targeted stopped putting out his recycling, and then
is he next to the elementary school? Because now
that was in Phoenix.
Oh, you're right. Okay.
This guy was probably saving up all this.
I almost pieced it all together.
Elaborate April Fool's prank.
Yes.
And then he just got tired of it.
And so now the urine bottles are showing up in other people's recycling bins.
Okay, here's what's happening. The neighbor across the street water shut down, no way to flush the toilets, anything. So they're running over, stealing people's bottles out of their recycling cans, peeing in them, and then throwing them back in there, hoping that they go undiscovered. But they're now discovered, and it's a problem. And this guy, listen, I try my best all the time.
Where is this going?
Not to.
Where is this going? A confession?
No. I'm saying I try my best all the time not to profile people, but this is for sure a man. This is for sure a man pissing in these bottles.
It's easier. It does make sense.
Yeah.
Unless they have that cup thing for the woman to funnel the pee in.
Sure.
They
didn't get into that. They have not found that in any of the recycling.
Why not create a pee cave though, Tyson? If you've got no water, you don't need to pee in containers.
Well, it's because it would smell really bad around.
But you can just fill in the pee cave once the scent peaks.
Yeah.
As someone who's used a pee cave, don't you think that that's a better idea than filling up jars?
No, I would rather, if I had enough plastic jugs, I'd probably fill up the jugs, put the cap on, and toss them.
Yeah.
Or come out and dump them in the wild somewhere.
Okay.
Put them in a backpack, go into the woods. It's all warm on your back.
Yeah. I mean, not immediately. I don't know what the play is here, but if you don't
as a pee apologist,
if you're
Tyson,
listen, it's a beautiful natural thing to urinate. That
now,
everybody's body does it.
Just to bring the last story into it, the teacher said, "Hey, it's okay. Pee right into the garbage can. That's fine, but pee into the recycling." That's an issue.
Yeah,
that's the problem.
Yeah. Yeah. So we don't know what this person's life is like that's peeing into the bottles. But if the plumbing's off because they can't afford their water bill,
they'll feel pretty bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I've got a Tyson's choice here for this next one. Okay. Tyson. All right. Because we got to get to Danny's bolt hole still. Would you rather to talk about Jessica Simpson has been drinking snake sperm or
I mean, do I have to hear the other one? Because that one's crazy.
Yeah. Or, there's a new flavor of breast milk ice cream that's just about to hit the market.
For adults or for children?
Well, we can talk about it, but that's the choice. Breast milk ice cream or Jessica Simpson drinks snake sperm.
We should have talked about both of these over the Yahoo Grass keyboard.
We can actually talk about, I don't have a bolt hole, so we could.
Oh, okay.
You don't?
Traveling. No. I just looked through my list. I don't currently have one. So both of these. Actually, a lot of these stories were my bolt hole. The snake sperm one was there.
Okay. And if you see anything else on the list, that we have an embarrassment of riches here today.
So many.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. So let's talk about Jessica Simpson. Okay. She's shared a new video that is of herself drinking an herbal drink that contains snake sperm at the suggestion of those helping her with her music career.
Can you imagine responding to the job listing to milk snakes for their sperm?
What kind of snake?
I don't even know.
And how does that even
cobra?
work?
Only cobra snakes.
Think King Cobra.
Does
it tell us what kind of snake?
Let's see.
It better be cobra.
And how do you even do that? I've never even seen a snake penis, not even one time.
What? All that time on the internet and you've never seen
it?
All those emails from Yahoo and you've never clicked on you'll never believe how big this snake's wiener is.
I think I would. So if you gave Viagra to a snake, would the whole snake get turgid? Or would it just have a little
I think it just becomes a stick. Yeah.
Yeah. A snake stick.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so Jessica Simpson has been doing this because the snake sperm cocktail helps her vocal cords. Hey, look, maybe I need that for the podcast.
Yeah, look into
How
that.
does she know this helps her vocal cords?
Well,
she doesn't have quantifiable data. If that's what
I
you're
think they're saying ancient Chinese secret. I
Because
think
if
that's
you did
really
the
what it comes down to.
cocktail, if you did the cocktail, but then didn't use the snake sperm in it as well,
I don't know.
would it
That's
still
it.
have the same effect?
It's
There's
a
no
Chinese
control.
herb cocktail. It has snake sperm in it. That's one of the ingredients.
There's no control group here that didn't get the sperm. So we'll,
Mhm.
of professional singers.
Yeah.
But I do wonder who led her to this drink. Like, dude,
Probably
you've
the
gotta
biggest
try.
prankster of all time.
Famously, a little gullible Jessica Simpson.
Yeah.
You got to try the Cobra Seed Boba. It is like so good on the vocal cords. I've never hit my notes harder.
They'll
than when
thank
I'm
you
on
for
that.
this.
She says it tastes like honey.
Well, because she's not just straight up
Mhm.
Yeah.
drinking the.
Because one of the
snake
ingredients
seed.
is honey.
Mhm.
Yeah. But who am I to disagree with? I'm sure she's got lots of money from singing. I
Yeah,
have
she
none,
says
so.
if you want a good vocal, you got to drink snake sperm. Danny, you've got another album coming out.
That's
soon.
what I'm missing.
Yeah.
I'm only going to do it if it's a cobra because that's the only snake cool enough for me to even consider
Giving a blowjob too.
if that's even, or giving it Viagra and then just, I don't even know. Tyson, why don't after this you watch some videos and inform us of how this is done? What's the science?
I don't. There's part of me that doesn't believe she's actually ingesting any snake sperm. Somebody's just telling her she is, and it's just honey.
Mhm.
And she's like, it tastes exactly like honey. Yeah. No, that's because we fed honey to the snake.
Is this Jessica Simpson's publicist of like, how do we get people talking about Jessica Simpson? That's it. We'll say she's drinking snake sperm.
She's rebuilding her career currently. She's just freshly off a divorce. She's looking good. She's trying to rejuvenate it. And the best way to do that is get some headlines with your name and snake sperm in the same sentence. Like everybody knows that. Everybody out here knows that.
You want to be number one on SEO, so you got to get snake sperm in there because not a lot of people are talking about it.
It's not a huge search term. Yeah.
It's you. DePete also likens this to the Adam and Eve situation with the snake. Is this Satan rearing his ugly head once again to inseminate Jessica Simpson's throat?
But instead of an apple, he's like, you got to milk me.
Yeah, direct from the snake.
I promise you will sing better than you have ever sung.
Yeah, this sounds like a your pretty little face is going to hell episode.
Well, good for her. I hope that this is the secret ingredient to her career having a second wind.
Danny, if she tops the charts within the next 6 months,
oh, dude, you will see me drinking this big giant glass. Double. He's like, I'll bait.
Good beta,
right?
Good beta.
This is good beta, actually.
Delicious beta.
This is.
Snake bait.
Snake.
All right. Now we have one more thing to talk about. Okay. In lieu of a bolt hole. All right. Breast milk ice cream due in 9 months.
Yeah.
Okay. Made for you by the company Frida, who makes baby products. They reveal plans to launch a breast milk flavored ice cream to promote the new 2-in-1 manual breast pump.
And is this for babies to have the ice cream, or is this for adults, or is this just for whoever? And whose breast milk is it?
So it's just flavored, Tyson. It's
it's breast milk
actual breast milk.
It worked. They've created some clickbait here.
Yes.
Yeah, Nathan for you does it again.
I think it's more. It's basically formula. So they say it will include nutrients like fatty acids and all sorts of things, mirroring breast milk's benefits. And
they really missed out.
Taste like it, but
April Fool's joke missed out right here.
Yeah. So it's a formula, synthetic breast milk popsicles, ice cream.
I don't think the FDA could approve. That seems like something that they wouldn't approve. Is
if
legit breast milk ice cream?
Yeah,
if you pasteurize it after, couldn't you pasteurize the breast milk and then it would be okay?
The breast milk factory.
We've talked for years about people trying to buy breast milk and bodybuilders like buying it on Craigslist. But I don't think you can get it in the market.
No.
Yeah.
No,
so you
get black market.
You get the breast milk formula ice cream and sprinkle it with snake sperm, and then that is a recipe for success.
I was gonna say it's probably right there on the shelf. The breast milk is right next to the cobra seed.
Yeah. Cobra seed. Yeah. Could you get pregnant from like a half snake, half human thing?
Yeah, because that's where the babies like to be grown, incubated in your stomach. Nice, Tyson.
Okay, let's go back to the breast milk. There's not a lot of things that are on the breast milk ice cream. It's not even real breast milk ice cream.
Just flavored. Yeah.
Just flavored. And did they think sit a lot of people down and be like, what flavor of ice cream are we missing?
Yeah, I can see maybe you're giving this to a baby, but if any adults are buying this, also put them on the watch list.
Chris Harrison is watching. He's like, To Catch a Predator is definitely.
Yeah, you should have to show your ID to buy this, I think.
Oh, and this is breaking news. The 27-year-old found under the bed in the Kentucky home ordered breast milk flavored ice cream as his final meal in prison.
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly Chris Hansen, not Chris Harrison. Chris Hansen.
So both are on the watch list. Yeah.
Yeah. Chris Hansen watching every move this breast milk flavored ice cream makes.
Yeah.
So you think there's just some FBI agent
yeah.
looking at this database as it grows for orders for breast milk?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Where do you think which city is going to have the most orders for breast milk flavored ice cream?
I think it's to be a pretty good distribution across the U.S.
Even across the U.S.
Yeah. I think maybe places that don't see as much sun as some of the others could be a likely place.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where does Greyhound have the most stops?
There's hubs all over.
Yeah. You have a vending machine at all the Greyhound hubs.
The breast milk ice cream vending machine.
I also want to make one more mention, if I could,
yes?
of a story you had on here that I did not see, but totally agree with.
Yes. What is it, Danny?
The Idaho governor is signing a bill to criminalize truck nuts.
Okay. Truck nuts and public breast exposure.
Okay. That one I don't agree with, but truck nuts. I whenever I see those dangling from some lifted diesel truck.
You know exactly the guy you're dealing with. I think they're a good sign.
I think personally nuts are hilarious, right? But I find those things to be so repulsive that I actually agree with this.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. I think it's an advertisement for the type of person. Like there's a few things I know. If you drive a Cybertruck or if you have truck nuts on your truck,
right?
I know that your personality.
You ever see truck nuts on a Cybertruck?
Probably.
I've never. No way. They're too classy.
But
too classy.
Those two groups of people, I know I'm not going to get along with. I already know we're not meshing with that personality.
If you want to identify yourself to every other driver on the road, you want to have bumper stickers, truck nuts, and then there are certain cars that will also identify you and allow everyone to know instantly who you are.
Yes.
Truck nuts do that, but also visually, I find them so disturbing, more disturbing than almost anything else I've ever seen. So,
like, how disturbing? Are you vomiting?
I'm very, very like, I do the thing where I'm like, normally I laugh when I see stuff like that.
Yeah.
But it's just like,
So if your Mountain Dew had been spiked with 4 Viagras and a bunch of Adderall, you don't think you'd get boned up?
Oh my gosh, dude. I would be like, more. I need to see more of this kind of stuff. I am so hopped. Liz, what has gotten into me?
So I still think the more signs we can have of exactly what type of personality you're dealing with on the road or in person, the better.
Signaling.
Yeah. If this guy gets out of his car and he's wearing a No Fear shirt or an Affliction shirt or something,
or
that's another sign.
Ed Hardy,
there's
studded jeans.
They need more signs where I can interact less with people without having to interact with them to figure out who they are.
It's a nice thing for them to do, actually.
Yeah.
I prefer to be more mysterious, but some people just want to lay it all out in public and let you know.
Big Johnson shirt.
That they're the kind of guy that pees into a trash can and has truck nuts on their car.
Yeah. Terranoia says no surprises. And that's exactly what I want is no surprises. I want to approach somebody like I'm looking at both you and I can approach you.
Now, I want to say if you want to throw someone off as to who you are, put some truck nuts on your Prius. then
Oh.
it's like
Yeah, that's
people are
confusing.
short circuiting. They're like, I don't know what's happening. But anyway, I just wanted to, maybe that could be the bolt hole. I totally agree with that.
Honorary
I don't want
bolt
to see
hole.
those. Yeah.
Okay. Let's talk about what our thumbnail should be for this episode.
Truck nuts.
Rated R. Like,
Yeah.
what possibly could we have?
Well, we did talk about April Fools, the April Fools store,
Yeah.
the Spirit
we can talk-
Halloween store of April Fools.
Yeah. The Spirit Halloween store of April Fools selling Viagra and body hair and fake poop.
Subway protein shakes,
Subway protein shakes.
monsters under the bed.
Okay. Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, I don't have any images.
Urine in bottles.
Bottles of urine, toilets made out of waste baskets.
Grass keyboard at the desk. What else?
Let's see what it does here.
Okay.
Let's see what it comes up with. All right, Danny. So and you're gonna go to the boysenberry tasting today.
So I'm assuming the plans have changed. That's only what I knew before I came down here. But the plans are either the beach or go and just get our fill of boysenberry pie, just hamburgers.
I don't think I've ever had a
burgers.
boysenberry pie.
I'm sure that if we go, that's what we'll be eating. So those are the two options. Or we'll just argue with each other until it becomes too late to do anything, and then be upset with the fact that we didn't choose to do anything.
Are you a fruit pie guy?
Yeah, hot fruit pie,
Ew.
some ice cream. What beats that?
I'm not a fruit pie guy.
Oh,
I'm cake.
but is there a different type of pie that you would like?
Yeah, coconut cream, any type of like
Yeah, I
banana
like
cream,
those too.
coconut
Yeah.
cream,
Yeah.
tropical cream, any of that. But no, I'm not a hot fruit pie guy. I'll do an apple pie, but that's cherry. It will puke. Gross.
Because you don't want people to call you a communist. You're like, no, I love apple pie. Of course. I'm American.
Yeah.
I've got some truck nuts on my Honda Odyssey.
I don't know why. I just for some reason I like fruit in its natural form more than in its
Straight from the tree.
sweetened
Gelatinous
form.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So here we go. Let's go into the April Fool's store and find a man hiding under the bed here.
Trick
What do you think?
Gum.
The April Fool's mega sale.
Yeah, I like that.
I do like the guy. I wish that maybe crop it so the guy's more apparent.
Yeah, maybe we'll zoom. Can we zoom in on the guy?
Yeah, because
Okay.
it's hard to see the guy.
I kind of like that. It's
Here's
hard
another.
to
Here's
see the
another guy.
guy.
This guy's on the bed.
Yeah, he's not
That's
even
very
trying.
sensual.
Yeah. Okay.
Not
Here,
even trying.
I'll ask it if it can give us. Can we zoom in on the guy in image one?
But still have all the great stuff.
Yeah. Okay. Tyson, what's coming up for you?
I mean,
Final
Survivor
Four.
podcast,
Mhm.
and then
Oh yeah.
merge episode. We assume
Mergatory.
mergatory, and then the final
Don't get it
four.
twisted.
Traveling this week to San Antonio should be fun
Mm-hmm.
or annoying, but still fun. Bucket list sports thing checked off,
Mhm.
and that's it. How about you,
Yeah.
Rob?
Yeah, the usual. Just got all of the podcasting going on, trying to get through my kids being home for spring break, but should be a nice quiet week before I go to Boston next week.
Okay, very cool.
Sounds pleasant.
All right. So thank you, everybody, so much for watching us here on News AF. We'll be back next time. Take care, everybody. Have a good one. Bye.
We did it, guys.
This is RHAP. We know reality TV.